If you're considering selling your property to buy a bigger home or maybe move down in size, move to a different part of Phoenix, I want to walk you through the biggest mistake that most home sellers make when they're making a move like that. And that is that they sell their house first. Now, let me explain what I mean. Selling your house first sounds safe, right? Let me sell this property, then I've got all this cash to go buy the next one. Maybe that even feels like it's your only option. Like, John, I don't have an extra whatever amount of money I need to go buy the next property and then sell my property. I don't have that luxury. Well, you might have more opportunities than you're aware of. And so I want to walk you through several different options that you have, regardless of what your situation is in terms of equity or extra cash, to purchase the property that you're going to buy first and then sell your house. Or if that's absolutely not an option, to sell your property in a way to where you're not rushed into buying a house that you're not really excited about when you do end up buying. All right, so first let's talk through the options for you to actually buy a property first and then sell. And then if none of these options work, we can walk through ways to sell your property to where you're not really rushed when you actually move to purchase the next property. So, all right, first I want to walk you through the options you have to buy a home before you actually sell your property. And some of these you might not have thought of. They're a little outside the box, and a lot of people can qualify for one of these options. If you can, if none of these work, that's okay. In a minute, I'm going to walk you through how to sell a property if you absolutely have to first, and do it in a way to where you're not in a rush to buy that next property. You don't end up buying something that you really don't love. In terms of buying a house first, you've got three different options. One is just use cash, right? If you've got the money, great, awesome, fantastic. Don't need to talk a lot about that. Way to go. Let's go buy you that property and then list your home. Homes always sell better when they're vacant. We can get them staged, make them look awesome. People can show them anytime they want. It's just a great way to sell a property. You always end up getting more money when they're vacant and staged and look fantastic. And so let's get you purchased. Let's go use that cash that you've been saving up to buy that house. So awesome, way to go. If that's not you, no worries. We've got a couple more options. One would be a line of credit. If you've got some equity in your property, we can talk to, we've got some great lenders who do very low cost line of credit. Some of them we can get approved in like a week. So it's a very fast, simple, cheap process of let's take the equity out of that property in the form of a line of credit, and that money can be used as a down payment for the next purchase. Now you've gone and bought the house, you've moved out, we're selling your house, you're making all this great money. Once you get the cash left, because the bank that gives you the line of credit is not going to give you all the equity, right? They're going to give you up to a certain amount. So you're going to leave some money on the table when you get that line of credit, which is totally fine, because after you've bought the new home that you love and you've been able to take your time and not rush, then we'll get your home sold, and whatever money you have left, meaning the money extra that you're going to get because you're going to pay off the line of credit you got in your original loan, you're going to have more equity. You can take that and do what's called a loan recast. So lenders will make sure, we've got to make sure we set you up for this in the beginning. Our lenders can do this, no problem. But you do a recast where that money then applies to the mortgage on your new property and actually re-amortizes the loan, meaning it actually adjusts your payment. So it's a great way for you to get that new low payment using all the equity from your house and do it in a way where you're able to buy first. So home equity line of credit's the cheapest and the quickest strategy for doing this buy first proposition, assuming you don't already have the cash to do it. And the last option we have is what we call buy before you sell, or a bridge loan. We've got a couple different companies who do these bridge loans, and it's kind of like a line of credit. There's a couple different ways to get this done. Ultimately, what these boil down to is either a loan or they actually buy your house cash from you, and that cash then you can use to buy a home. And effectively what happens is you get a cash offer on your property. Now you don't have to close on it right away. You don't have to sell. You could wait 6 months or a year. They don't care when they buy the property. They're not going to buy at full price, right? Typically going to be about 70% of the value of the home. So now you've got a cash offer. Your house is effectively sold, and we can go write offers non-contingent on homes that you want to buy. Then no problem. We get you that property. We list your home after we've sold it to the cash buyer. Now you've got the cash and you've bought this new home. We list your property, sell it for 100% of market value, and you get all of that upside minus 3%. Roughly. Depends on which lender we're using, but it ends up costing you about 3% for the money to make this happen, which you end up making significantly more than that in our experience when you sell the property, because again, we're able to fix it up, do some nice things to it, get it staged, sell it vacant. We end up making you typically more than 3%. So you end up net ahead using this program. Now, this only works if you've got equity. So if you've got some equity, this is a great opportunity for you also to buy before you sell. All right. So let's say you don't have much equity, or for whatever reason, you can't qualify for any of these opportunities. Now what? What can we do? Okay. okay, this is where we get a little creative and use the experience we have selling, 2,500 houses over 25 years and negotiate some great terms for you. So we list your property for sale. We're going to start shopping at the same time. This is super common, and start looking for what you want. Now, as we find some properties that you're interested in, you're excited about, and we start to get offers on your property, then what we're going to want to do is negotiate as part of that offer lease back or a rent back. So basically we say, hey, great, we're happy to take this offer. We'd like for you to allow us to stay here for an extra month, or maybe we do a long escrow. We're not going to close for 60 days. And then maybe we do a rent back for 30 days. So now we've kind of bought you 90 days to spend a little more time looking for the perfect property. Now, the downside here is if we're doing that, we either have to find the perfect buyer who's just not in a hurry for the house, which sometimes happens, or we're going to have to take a little bit of a discount on the property because we're asking kind of a lot from the buyer. We're asking them to let you stay in this house for quite a while. So there are some potential downsides to that. Another way we can do this is let's get your house sold, and then we help you find temporary housing. So we start shopping for a new property, but let's say we can't find one during that time frame. No problem. We can get you in a great Airbnb or a great month-to-month rental. There's lots of those options we're super connected to all over the valley. And now this is a little bit of a hassle. Ultimately, the numbers probably end up a little better, meaning the buyer is going to get the property right when they want it. So they're going to pay you a little bit more than if we had asked them to let you live there for an extra couple months. So you probably end up financially a little bit ahead here, but there's the hassle factor. It's really ultimately up to you. Are you willing to make that sacrifice to go through the hassle of having to move twice, as it's a little bit of a pain? But there are some great services in town that'll pack your stuff up, keep it in the cube until you're ready for it. You move into a furnished rental. Depending on the time of year in Phoenix, you can sometimes get those pretty cheap, especially in the summer. And it's a nice way for you to have a little bridge between the home that you sell and the home that you buy. So that is an option as well. Now, the last option, and it's tricky, but it's definitely doable, is we try to simultaneously close, right? We're going to sell the house at the same time we buy one. This works really well if let's say you want to buy a new build. They're going to be super flexible with when they sell you that house, and we're going to know when it's going to close. We've got one of these right now where one of our clients is in escrow on a new build that's closing in like 9 months. So we haven't even listed their house. We know we got plenty of time. We'll probably list it about 3 months before. This works great for that scenario. Or if you want to buy a property there's plenty of them around. You're not looking for a diamond in the rough or a specific kind of house that's impossible to get. You've got some flexibility. You're not super picky. Awesome. We can do that at the same time. No problem. We've got some great ways to make your offers look really, really good. Even if you've got a house to sell, we've got to convince the seller of the property you're buying that you're a great buyer, and we have great ways to do that. So we can walk you through those if you'd like. So if you find yourself in this position where you're looking to sell and buy at the same time, those are some great options for you. If you want to talk through those and figure out which one is best for you, figure out which maybe opportunities you qualify for, just reach out. We'd love to help you out with that. No charge. Just jump on a quick call, or we can shoot you an email back and give you some ideas. You can drop a comment asking for that below the video here, or feel free to reach out at contact@gluchgroup.com or 480-378-6700.